Good evening, everyone. If I may have your attention, we're about to begin our program. Okay. Welcome to the Huntsville Association of Technical Societies, also known as HATS 2022 Professional of the Year Awards celebration. I am Ms. Allison Marie Wren, and I have had the pleasure of serving as the president of HATS since 2021 and a member of the HATS board since 2017. While I have the added benefit of knowing many of you, I want to welcome all of you to the HATS 2022 POY Awards. During this event, HATS will recognize the professionals and the young professionals from our respective society members. The winners of the society nominees will be honored with the Bill Rourke Award for the Young Professional of the Year and the Moquin Award for the Professional of the Year. We will also present the HATS Society of the Year Award for the society member who has embodied technical and economic leadership in the Huntsville, Alabama community. Thank you all for your support and your participation in tonight's event. Now, it is with great pleasure to introduce the HATS Vice President, Mr. Will Gomes, for our Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you very much. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. If you would, please bow with me for an invocation. Father God, thank you for the opportunity to gather here and present awards to very honored and deserving men and women in our community as they have both been professional and supported our community. God, I pray that you would bless each of us tonight as we continue to work within the community to serve others. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Will. HATS member organizations and guests, we are pleased to have you here as an honor of your Professionals of the Year. I extend a very special welcome to those honorees who are representing those professional societies and associations, their guests, and their colleagues. You are our finest professionals and deserve to be very proud of your accomplishments. This year's event is focused on honoring our members' society accomplishments and successes as the members of these technical societies fuel the flame with new creative ideas and mentor others to carry that flame into the future of Huntsville technology. Ladies and gentlemen, I now turn it over to Ms. Kara Morgan, who will lead the recognition of our sponsors and the HATS Planning Committee.
Thank you, Allison. First, I'd like to recognize and thank our 2022 sponsors for helping to make this evening a special one. Our sponsors tonight are our Young Professional of the Award sponsor is Torch Technologies. Our Professional of the Year award sponsor is Teledyne Brown Engineering, and our wonderful host sponsor is Torch Technologies. Before I begin the recognition of our participating societies, I will recognize the 2022 HATS board members that helped me with tonight's event. Allison Wren, HATS President. Allison Cash, HATS Treasurer. Ron Hackett, HATS Communications. Mike Feltman, Board Member. Lorraine Harrell, Board Member. And Mary Sevo, Board Member. You all stepped up to support the event, and I appreciate everyone's efforts. I'd like to personally thank each of you for volunteering your support and your time for the event. Without each of you, the event would not be the success it is going to be tonight. Everyone, please join me in a round of applause as we thank our planning committee for their untiring support and dedication to HATS in making this event a success. HATS is based on the support and participation of our member societies and organizations. Without you, HATS would not exist. I would like to say a special thank you to the 7 member societies and organizations who submitted award nominations for the Young Professional of the Year, Society of the Year, and the highly coveted Professional of the Year, or MOQUIN Award. We are glad you can join us tonight. The 7 represented organizations are the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, Greater Huntsville Society, the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, North Alabama Section, the Huntsville Association of Small Businesses and Advanced Technologies, IEEE Huntsville Section, the National Contract Management Association, the National Defense Industrial Association Tennessee Valley Chapter, and the Women in Defense Tennessee Valley Chapter. We thank you very much for your continued support of HATS. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce our Master of Ceremonies for this year's Professional of the Year Awards, Jasmine Cornell of WAFF 48 News. Jasmine joined WAFF in January 2020 as a morning news anchor and reporter. Jasmine is a native of Georgia and the product of a military mom and dad. She obtained a BA in theater with a minor in music, BS in journalism, and MA in social science, with a concentration in political science from Georgia Southern University. Her journalism career started in 2019 when she interned for Good Morning Washington. While interning in the DC area, she explored political and investigative journalism and gained invaluable lessons from award-winning journalists. She received the opportunity to serve as an escort and presenter for the 61st Capitol Emmys, traveling the DC area with morning and dayside reporters and chatting with public figures. Jasmine Cornell co-anchors weekend morning newscasts alongside Sean Dowling. You can also see Jasmine on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as a reporter on the WAFF morning news team. Please welcome Jasmine Cornell.
Good evening. Thank you for that introduction, Kira. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also welcome you to this year's HATS Professional of the Year Awards celebration. So I am an early morning person. I'm usually at work at 2:30 in the morning, and then I go in at nights and the weekends and work overnights. So it's a little past my bedtime, I will say, but I am very grateful to be here and excited to be amongst curious, bright men and women, and also recognize some amazing individuals. So I see this award celebration as an inspirational front page story. So now let's just take a moment to talk about Huntsville Association of Technical Societies by providing the linkage between organizations to do things better together than they can separately. HATS is here to help your organizations better serve your membership and work together to better serve the community. Now tonight is a very special night. Each year, our technical community sets aside one night for honoring individuals who have made great contributions in their chosen fields and have made our lives better through their actions. Each year, HATS conducts this Professional of the Year award celebration to provide a forum for each member, professional or technical society to publicly recognize its own Professional of the Year. Tonight, we ignite, and our honorees take us beyond the horizon through their influence and leadership in the Huntsville community at large. So the HATS Young Professional of the Year Award strives to promote the accomplishments of outstanding young professionals who can impact our community through their achievements and their contributions. This award is designed to recognize the young and talented members of our community, aged 35 and under, who are inspiring those around us daily, and will surely be the future leaders in our community. All of tonight's honorees deserve to be very proud of their accomplishments, and we are very grateful for their service to their profession and to our community. Each HATS organization was asked to provide information on their Young Professional of the Year. So let us recognize and honor this year's selection of Young Professionals of the Year from each of the societies, and I will read a summary of what was submitted to the committee. As I call your name, please wave at the camera so we can all see and congratulate you. So first, the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics Young Professional of the Year is Paul Kovacic. Paul has actively served the local AIAA chapter through involvement in outreach activities such as STEAM Fest and the Rocket City Quiz Bowl. And in the workplace, he has worked diligently on several DoD contracts, improving both process efficiency and reliability of Monte Carlo simulations related to lethality engineering. I'll give him a round of applause since he's not here. Next, the Huntsville Association of Small Businesses and Advanced Technology Young Professional of the Year is Kevin Michael Long. Kevin Long exemplifies passing the torch through his passionate commitment to professional, technical, academic, and military communities. He's not here at this time, so give him a round of applause. The IEEE Young Professional of the Year is Vinitha Menon. Vinitha is being nominated for outstanding contributions that uphold the spirit of IEEE Young Professionals through impactful technical contributions in multidisciplinary big data applications, leadership, and empowering professional service to promote STEM in the Huntsville community. We'll give a round of applause for her. The National Contract Management Association Young Professional of the Year is Markeisha Bonds. Markeisha has excelled in the workplace by providing superior contract management services to her employer, Torch Technologies, and has excelled in the community through her leadership in both local and national levels of NCMA. Let's give a round of applause for Markeisha. Next, the National Defense Industrial Association Tennessee Valley Chapter Young Professional of the Year is Garfield Wilbur Boone III. Garfield has excelled in the workplace by serving as the Test Execution Program Manager for Modern Technology Solutions Incorporated, by serving as the Deputy Lead Contractor for the Missile Defense Agency's Test Resources Directorate, and by providing engineering expertise in support of range operations at several military test ranges across the Pacific. And Garfield has excelled in the community by speaking to youth at several local area middle and high schools, teaching STEM concepts at Cap and Gown Projects, Summer STEM Institute, and by serving on several boards and committees, including the Huntsville-Madison County Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, the Huntsville-Madison County Library Board of Directors, the Community Foundation of Greater Huntsville Board of Directors, the NDIA TVC Young Professionals Chair, the Executive Committee of the Committee of 100 Young Professionals, and the Cornerstone Initiative Board of Influencers. Let's give him a round of applause. The Young Professional of the Year is sponsored by Torch Technologies. HATS and Torch recognize outstanding accomplishments to ignite and launch the younger generation beyond the horizon. Bill Rourke, Senior Vice President of Torch Technologies, will assist with this award presentation.
All right, it's my pleasure to present the Young Professional of the Year Award. I hope to be with all of you this year in person, but unfortunately 2 years ago when I scheduled a non-refundable vacation, I later found out that this event falls right in the middle of that vacation, so I couldn't be there this year. But nevertheless, I will join you via this video presentation. Hopefully, everyone will have a good time and maybe a better time since I'm not there. So anyway, let me jump in on this and let's get going. I'm going to share with you some of the same thoughts I've shared in the past. as a young person, we often forget to do some important things, and I know I did, and so that's why I'm sharing these thoughts with you. You know, when you're younger and stronger, you don't think about your health much, but I would encourage you as you're younger to take care of your health. Do the things to make sure that when you get old like me, that you don't have the health problems that I have. And take care of yourself financially. It's always nice if you go ahead and put away a little bit now so that you can enjoy life a lot better when you get a little older and maybe retire a little early. Live your life with a purpose. Define what your principles are and write them down or memorize them, but have them such that you structure your life so that you live life so that when you're finished you feel good about where you've been and where you've ended up. It's always good to have a destination in mind. Persevere and don't give up. Life is not always easy. If it was, we'd all excel at everything. I know I've failed. I've actually been part of a bankruptcy before and started over, just didn't give up. Persevere and don't give up. Sometimes things will get real tough and you think, boy, I just can't go on, but just get up, try again, keep going, and it will get better. Life is better if you share your successes with others. I can't say this strong enough. Good friends, and we've had the opportunity to know lots of people over the years, and lots of folks that I've worked with I consider great friends, and being able to share the success we've had here with them is something that's very valuable to me. And, as I said earlier, we were talking about principles. The thing to keep in mind, it's always the right time to do the right thing. I always misquote this. This quote, as it said here, was said by Martin Luther King, and it's something that I have posted on my wall and that I firmly believe. But with all that piece of advice that I shared, and hopefully some of you are not upset that I've shared this in the past and shared it again, but I think there are some important things to carry there. Let me get on to telling you about this year's winner. This young man is in engineering and cyber security. He's been known to mentor the younger folks around him and also to mentor those older folks like me who don't know much about cybersecurity. He's been a huge advocate for small business and in his advocacy helped forge policy changes with the SBA for the 8A program that were approved during the COVID-19 period. He volunteers for Simplify, 305 8th Street, and Kids to Love, three charities that I'm very fond of, and I think that's just outstanding. He proudly serves in the Army National Guard, another thing that is something to be very proud of. The person who's written the nomination here describes him as an Energizer Bunny. That's a lot nicer than the description they use to describe me, which is Tasmanian Devil. But Energizer Bunny, I think, is an excellent description for someone who's doing a lot of things and staying busy. And with all that, I would like to congratulate Kevin Michael Long. Kevin, congratulations on being this year's award winner. Thank you.
Congratulations to our 2022 Young Professional of the Year winners. Congratulations to Kevin Michael Long, and thank you, Bill, for those encouraging words. Let's give him another round of applause. Now it is time to present the Society of the Year Award. Kira Morgan, Professional of the Year Committee Chair, will assist with this award presentation.
Thank you, Jasmine. The 28 nonprofit, technical, and professional societies that are part of HATS claim membership of some of the best and brightest in Huntsville. HATS is looking for a member organization that has demonstrated excellence in some technical or managerial professional work or activity that is concerned with broad and beneficial technical, scientific, social, or economic consequences. They look for excellence that has been exemplified within the community. Our independent selection committee also looks for extraordinary dedication, creativity, or leadership in work or activity that results in excellent contributions to the technical and economic development of the city of Huntsville and the surrounding areas. The HATS Society of the Year stands out as one who has risen above their peers by providing exemplary leadership to the North Alabama technical community. This involvement and leadership shall have been long-standing with commitment and consistency. This year, there are 4 nominees for Society of the Year. The nominees are the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, North Alabama Section, the Huntsville Association of Small Businesses in Advanced Technology, and last but not least, IEEE Huntsville Section. The winner of this year's Society of the Year award is the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. The AIAA Greater Huntsville Section has excelled this past year by developing and implementing an outstanding communications program that engages the membership, stimulates public awareness of aerospace research and development activities, and increased its outreach. The section serves the community by organizing events to recognize exceptional contributions of its members in the aerospace field, increase awareness of technical activities, promote networking, and implemented an outstanding K-12 outreach program. Congratulations to the members of AIAA. And now I will turn it back over to Jasmine.
Now it is my distinct privilege to introduce tonight's guest speaker, Joseph Vick. Mr. Joseph Vick has 15 years of veteran work experience with the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. In his tenure at the Rocket Center, he has actively been involved in both Space Camp and museum education curriculum development, staff training, and guest engagement. Currently, Mr. Vick serves as the Director of Museum Education and Digital Education Outreach. His focus is museum education and digital learning programs. These programs include engaging museum educational workshops and digital education through Science Never Stops. This is a digital cross-curricular educational program series. Please join me in welcoming Joseph Vick.
Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, HATS, for having me as your keynote speaker, and many congratulations to all of you for your continued hard work, dedication, and service to the greater Huntsville STEM community. Now, the city of Huntsville, Alabama, and the U.S. Space and Rocket Center may seem small at the universal scale, but their past and present and future impacts reach out into interstellar space. A monumental reminder of how we look up to those that engineered and built the most powerful rocket in human history, and continues to reshape the history of space exploration. March 17 was the U.S. Space and Rocket Center's 52nd anniversary. 52 years of science, technology, engineering, and mathematic engagement of millions of hearts and minds of all ages and from around the world. This week is also World Space Week, and the entire month of October happens to be Huntsville History Month. These go hand in hand as I want to take you through a historic narrative. The past, the present, and the future. The story of the world's first space museum, the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. But first, welcome to Huntsville, the watercrest capital of the world. Early Huntsville was just that, a booming agricultural economy. At Space Camp, nowadays you could say we're also astronaut farmers, cultivating the minds and hearts of the next generation of space explorers. Agriculture is still strong in Alabama, but around the 1940s, the seeds of change were planted. Redstone Arsenal was established in 1941 and changed the course of technological advancement for North Alabama and the world. Huntsville, Alabama is now known as Rocket City, USA. But this modern, out-of-this-world title was earned out of a combination of good old Southern hospitality, the culture of hard work, determination, and brain power. The Rocket City boom was jump-started in 1950 when 117 post-World War II German scientists and engineers were relocated to Redstone Arsenal to begin rocket development with the U.S. Army. Many organizations we still love and enjoy today blossomed from the 1950 and 60s era of Rocket City. So let's do the math. Culture, education, and industry equals Huntsville. The National Aeronautics and Space Act was signed into law on July 29, 1958 by President Eisenhower, and NASA was born. Pictured is the ceremony with Redstone Army Ballistic Missile Command and the new NASA Marshall Space Flight Center on July 1, 1960. For more than 6 decades, NASA and the nation have relied on Marshall Space Flight Center to deliver and develop the most vital propulsion systems and hardware, flagship launch vehicles, world-class space systems, state-of-the-art engineering technologies, and cutting-edge science and research projects and solutions. But who was going to tell that story? The U.S. Space and Rocket Center. The tangible beginnings of the U.S. Space and Rocket Center began on the floor of the Alabama State House of Representatives in 1965. House Bill 1060 was set to go on public ballot. With this ballot referendum, it was included a new state commission, the Alabama Space Science Exhibit Commission, to oversee the bonds and the construction of this new facility. Vote Yes to Amendment 3 was that campaign title. This 1965 flyer to Alabama citizens addressed the $1.9 million statewide bond referendum to finance the new museum construction. And the state vote referendum passed overwhelmingly on November 30, 1965. And in 1968, 435 acres of Redstone Arsenal was transferred to the state of Alabama to begin building this new museum. It was the summer of 1969. As the Apollo 11 astronauts were walking on the lunar surface for the first time, Huntsville was celebrating and building the first space museum. These early construction photos shows the rocket park and an aerial view of the museum construction. This picture was taken at the end of 1969, a year where mankind accomplished the goal of landing a man on the moon. 1970 will bring in a new decade and many new and exciting space exploration achievements. And the Rocket Center will be there to highlight and showcase them all. Opening soon, spring 1970. Now, the plaque that you see is at our main entrance, celebrating the Rocket Center as a public entity for the public and people of Alabama and the world. In 1970, Dr. Von Braun was the Deputy Associate Minister of NASA in headquarters, D.C. He was formally invited and flew down to deliver a speech at the museum dedication ceremony on March 17 of 1970. I wanted to read a few of his words from that speech because they still ring true today. And I quote, "The Alabama Space and Rocket Center obviously is much more than a place of entertainment. It is an educational tool. It will help all persons to better understand that the space program is designed to benefit mankind. Today, I would like to put forth a challenge that this Space and Rocket Center dedicate itself to presenting not only the tools of space exploration, but also the hope for a brighter future in the practical uses of space technology. I truly believe that the progress of mankind here on Earth is directly linked to the future that mankind builds for itself in space. The Alabama Space and Rocket Center is by far the best facility of its kind in the world. Working together, I know we can keep it that way. This is a showcase of an early museum brochure, and if you'd like to see it a little bit closer, I actually have that 1970s brochure at my table that you can come by and see after the talk. I would like to introduce to you the Rocket Center's first NASA Emeritus docent, Miss Baker. Many years after her successful 1959 NASA suborbital space mission, she arrived at the Rocket Center in 1971 from the U.S. Naval School of Aviation Medicine in Pensacola, Florida. Miss Baker lived a pampered and longer than average lifespan for her species to her passing in 1984. Still to this day, she is honored and she is buried on site on the grounds of the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. But what are we most known for? We have cheerleading camps, we have football camps. Why not a science camp? This is a paraphrased conversation between Dr. Von Braun and Ed Buckby, the first executive director of the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. And from that conversation, Space Camp was born in the summer of 1982. Attendance from that first Space Camp summer was 754 trainees. We now proudly have over 1 million alumni from around the world. And there are currently in Earth orbit, living and working inside the International Space Station, 2 Space Camp alum, that is ISS Commander Samantha Cristoforetti and Robert Hines. A new camp for a new generation, a new era of space exploration, the Space Shuttle generation. Pictured is Pathfinder 1988. The Rocket Center's 1986 annual report reads, "The center will erect the first full-scale space shuttle display, an orbiter, external tank, and solid rocket boosters to showcase the current space program. Pathfinder is currently in the process of a 3-year restoration, currently on its 2nd year. Both SRBs have been fully painted and restored. The external tank will soon be refoamed, and the metal framework of the Pathfinder test vehicle will be covered with a 3D printed case that will be see-through so that you can see the internal structure of the test vehicle." Some dream of space, but others are born to fly. Aviation Challenge, with its leadership and Top Gun style fighter pilot training experience, opened its doors in 1990 for those that dream of being aviators and test pilots. Now, we all know our most beautiful, shining monument here in Huntsville, and it is a well-known landmark. The 363-foot, 36 stories high Saturn V rocket model is the next to largest structure in the city of Huntsville, next to the Marshall Space Flight Center Dynamic Test Stand, which is 374 feet, that held the first Saturn V rocket that we too have on display at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. This 1-to-1 scale model was built to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Apollo 11 lunar landing and our 10 millionth museum visitor. The Saturn V rocket had been on the South Lawn on display since 1969. The harsh elements had done a toll on our historic vehicle. A fundraising campaign was established to restore and house this piece of Huntsville and American history. The Davidson Center for Space Exploration was that showcase, and its groundbreaking took place on July 15, 2006. And the Davidson Center for Space Exploration opened its doors in celebration of the January 31st, 2008, but the celebration of America's first artificial satellite, Explorer 1. We incorporated 2 new camp programs in 2013 and 2017, and these 2 programs continued for the development of workforce development and new programs in the minds and hearts of children from around the world. Space Camp Robotics touches the importance of robotic technology. Its uses in Earth and space exploration and basic programming skills. U.S. Cyber Camp teaches the importance of cybersecurity, cyber awareness, and cyber ethics. And all of our programming have strong focuses on teamwork and workforce development. 2019, we celebrated around the world the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission. Since Huntsville engineered and built the Saturn V moon rocket, we celebrated the historic July 16, 1969 Apollo 11 launch that launched at 8:32 a.m. On that day, we encouraged our alumni, educators, and all space enthusiasts to join us in launching any type of rocket, joining with our celebration in all time zones around the globe, in celebration of the past, the present, and the future, which this image shows, with Saturn V rocket engineer Brooks Moore, Apollo 15 command module pilot, astronaut Al Worden, Marshall Space Flight Center Director Jody Singer, and pushing the button to launch those rockets, 5-time Space Camp alum Lillian Duran. And when she pressed that button at 8:32 a.m. on July 16, 2019, 5,000 model rockets in the configuration of the Saturn V F1 engine, all 5 of those engines, all 5,000 of those rockets launched at once, and we won the Guinness World Record for the most model rockets launched at one go. Groundbreaking again, now modern times. So this time last year, World Space Week, we broke ground for the Space Camp Operations Center, hopefully to be used and ready to go by Camp Programming 2023 of our summer season. This 40,600 square foot building will be the permanent housing spot for the U.S. Cyber Camp, and its 1,000-seat auditorium will have also space for 10 classrooms and laboratories to support all of our camp programs. And coming soon, the Inspiration for Skills Training Center, which was a generous donation of funds from Aviation Challenge alumni and the Inspiration for crew as a whole. This building will expand our Aviation Challenge camp experiences and will serve as the focus of astronaut and flight simulations. All around Space Camp in our classrooms, we have the following on the placard as you enter the classroom, that through these doors walks the next generation of future scientists, engineers, astronauts, and multi-level professionals. All of these former, current, or candidate astronauts and cosmonauts pictured were once children or some adults when they attended one or more of our Space Camp programs. The gold outlined astronauts, which are Robert Hines and Samantha Cristoforetti, again are both currently on board the ISS right now with Expedition 67, the first time we've had 2 Space Camp alum in space at the same time. The first Space Camp alum to fly was Dottie Metcalf-Lindenberger, and the first Space Camp counselor to fly was Chris Sombrowski with the Inspiration 4 crew. And very, very soon, we are very excited and proud to say that we will have the first Space Camp alum to walk on the surface of the moon with the Artemis program. Hearing the words, "Welcome to Space Camp," was that small step before all of them made giant leaps for mankind. With a show of hands, there I saw one that got really excited earlier. Who in the room happens to be Space Camp alum? Anybody? Yes, so I am also a proud Space Camp alum myself. Aviatrix, Mercury 13 research participant, Space Camp alum, astronaut. Wally Funk is an inspirational American hero. In the late 1970s, she applied 4 times to be a NASA astronaut, and she was told no 4 times. Then all her hard work, her patience, transformed into opportunity. Wally Funk just recently became a flown commercial astronaut at 82 years young. I'm empowering all of you now with the energy of Wally Funk. There's no goal out there that you cannot achieve. Go higher, go faster, go longer, and you too can get out there and do anything. Thank you. Turn it back over to Jasmine.
Thank you, Mr. Vick, and thank you for those inspiring comments. Go higher, go faster, go longer. I'm going to take that and use that as my motto as well. So let's give him another round of applause. And we have a gift for you to say thank you for taking the time to share your message with us today. Now it is time for us to recognize and honor our Professionals of the Year for 2022. All of tonight's honorees should be very proud of their accomplishments, and we are grateful for their service to their profession and to our community. Each organization was asked to provide information on how their candidate is going above and beyond in their society, industry, and community. Now, as I call their names, I will read these statements, and the awardees will make themselves known to us on screen. First, the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics Professional of the Year is Lisa B. Mitchell. In the current year, Lisa Mitchell has excelled in the workplace by leading a team of high-performing engineers that support major NASA projects like Space Launch Systems, Human Landing System, Mars Ascent Vehicle, and Commercial Crew Program. Excelled in the community by helping the startup of Grow Young Minds program, and excelled in the community with the AIAA by symbolizing its purpose to ignite and celebrate collaboration in the greater Huntsville community. Next, the ASME, or American Society of Mechanical Engineers Professional of the Year, is Gregory R. Duke. While Greg Duke's professional accomplishments at Torch Technologies have included the significant development of young leaders and automation tools to support the U.S. government, it is his outstanding service and dedication to the greater Huntsville community, including volunteer roles with ASME, HATS, and AYSO, that prove Mr. Duke has a true passion and desire to serve his community and positively impact individual lives. The Huntsville Association of Small Businesses and Advanced Technology and Woman in Defense Professional of the Year is Van A. Sullivan. Van is being nominated not only for his professional accomplishments, but also because he exemplifies the ideals of self-sacrifice, stewardship, and servant leadership. His guiding principle is to leave the world a better place. The IEEE Huntsville Section Professional of the Year is Sonia L. Dillard. Mrs. Sonia Dillard has invested herself in the local community by leading, motivating, guiding, and empowering thousands of students to realize their full potential and to pursue careers in STEAM fields, while at the same time being an example of what women can achieve in engineering via her impactful contributions and technical achievements in support of the NASA Marshall Space Flight Center. The National Defense Industrial Association Tennessee Valley Chapter Professional of the Year is Catherine T. Bolden. In the current year, Miss Bolden has excelled in the workplace by serving, leading her team, supporting AMC, supporting her company, MB Solutions, excelling in the community by doing, serving, and leading students in their studies, working with church leaders to minister, support staff to help feed the homeless, and she's excelled in the NDIA TVC chapter by leading efforts to recruit candidates worthy of receiving NDIA TVC awards and scholarships. The Woman in Defense Tennessee Valley Chapter Professional of the Year is Gayla Suddarth. In the current year, Gayla has excelled in the workplace by leading and managing numerous proposals efforts and networking to grow RGC's business. She's excelled in the community by serving on the boards of numerous organizations and promoting STEM across the Tennessee Valley, and excelled in the Women in Defense Tennessee Valley chapter by serving as STEM director and growing the organization's STEM outreach by 500% in 2 years. My papers have come apart. And in honor of Joseph C. Moquin, HATS presents an annual award to an individual who has made extraordinary contributions to the North Alabama technical community. The recipient is selected from among the Society Professional of the Year recipients. The Joseph C. Moquin Professional of the Year Award is sponsored by Teledyne Brown Engineering. HATS and Teledyne recognize brilliant leadership to fuel the flames, and guide the younger generation. Reggie Spivey, Vice President of Space Systems at Teledyne Brown Engineering, will assist with this award presentation.
All right, thank you, Jasmine. Like you, I'm a morning person, but I wait till 4 o'clock to get up, but it is well past my bedtime, so I will go quickly. Good afternoon, I am Reggie Spivey. I'm the Vice President of Space Systems at Teledyne Brown Engineering, and I have the honor of presenting today's Joseph C. Moquin Award. Our company is proud to be a sponsor of this event, especially due to our long-standing ties to Mr. Moquin. Mr. Moquin came to Huntsville, Alabama in 1956, then to be at the Army's Ballistic Missile Agency. When he came here, he met Milton Cummins. Milton Cummins started Brown Engineering in 1953 here in Huntsville. They got to know each other, and in 1959, Mr. Moquin came over to Brown Engineering at the age of 35 years old to be our executive vice president. The two of them were very influential in the community, and they convinced Huntsville to rezone 3,000 acres on their western border that became the Cummings Research Park. So Mr. Moquin and Mr. Cummins both were very involved in the community. And it is fitting that the HATS Professional of the Year Award be named after Mr. Moquin. This award goes to someone who has exhibited extraordinary dedication to leadership in their work activity that results in excellent contributions to the technical and economic development of the city of Huntsville and the surrounding area. The winner must be someone who stands out above their peers by providing exemplary leadership in the North Alabama technical community. This leadership must be long-standing and with commitment and consistency. Now, you've heard some of the details of this winner tonight before, but I'm going to repeat a few of those. This year's winner has excelled in the workplace by leading a team of high-performing engineers that support major NASA projects like the Space Launch System, the Human Landing System, the Mars Ascent Vehicle, and the Commercial Crew Program. Our recipient has vast experience in the areas of systems engineering, integration, verification, and is known as a subject matter expert at the NASA Marshall Space Flight Center and at Jacobs Engineering. With over 20 years of experience supporting various aerospace projects, our recipient is a proven leader who has worked with many agencies like NASA, MDA, and LPTO. In her current role as the Deputy Department Manager for the Propulsion Systems Support Department at Jacobs, she helps manage a team of 160 engineers that support many of the NASA programs. Throughout her career, she has won multiple awards, including Jacobs Reinventing Excellence Award, Outstanding Team Lead Award, and the NASA Spaceflight Awareness Award. As a member of the community, she helped start the Growing Young Minds program, through which she worked with multiple seniors in high school, educating them in the different types of engineering with hands-on experience. Tonight, I am honored to present to you the Joseph C. Moquin Award for HATS Professional of the Year to Miss Lisa Mitchell. Congratulations, Lisa. All right, congratulations, Lisa. And Jasmine, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Reggie, and congratulations to our 2022 Professional of the Year winner, Lisa B. Mitchell. Let's give her a round of applause. And as we bring our program to an end, HATS President Allison Wren will give our closing remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our 2022 Virtual Professional of the Year Awards celebration. We thank each of you for joining us this evening. Please congratulate tonight's winners with a round of applause. Young Professional of the Year, Kevin Long, HAZBAT. Our Society of the Year, AIAA, as well as our Moquin awardee, Ms. Lisa Mitchell with AIAA. Thank you. We also want to thank our speakers, Bill Rourke with Torch Technologies, Joseph Vick with NASA, and Reggie Spivey with Teledyne Brown Engineering for participating tonight. We send a special thank you to our wonderful sponsors, our platinum sponsor being Teledyne Brown Engineering, our silver sponsor, ISIC, our bronze sponsors, Redstone Federal Credit Union, InLogic and General Atomics, and our host sponsor, Torch Technologies, as well as our HATS member societies. Without you all, none of this would be possible. And of course, I want to recognize the HATS board members who worked so hard to put this event together. Kira, thank you for leading the charge. Last but not least, our amazing MC for the evening, Jasmine. You have been an incredible host tonight. Everyone, please give her a round of virtual applause for doing a terrific job. We thank you. To our virtual attendees, again, thank you for joining us this evening. Congrats to all nominees and winners. Be sure to email HATS at board@hats.org for details on how to pick up your awards. In the meantime, we hope you have a blessed night, and we will see you in person next year at the Huntsville Botanical Gardens. Good night.